We are live. I thought I'd tell you this time instead of us saying inappropriate things.
Boobs. What?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how are you tonight?
I'm all right. How are you?
Not too bad. No real complaints that I want to talk about online. So we can just move away from that shit.
Fair enough.
Rough day. Just did not sleep well. And that never, But I'm happy as always. Nothing to be sad about at the moment. Phoebe has been giving me tons of cuddles, which is awesome.
Yeah.
She's just been the little cuddle monster, man.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I really like kitty cats, and I told Lady Monkey the other day, I'm actually jealous, and I mean this, because Phoebe will cuddle with her in bed. She'll lay on her, and she'll lay next to her, and she'll cuddle right into her, and she won't do that with me. I'm like, why? Love me. I'm turning into Elmira. I'm just going to hold her one day. And I'm going to love her and pet her. And yeah.
Name her George.
I'm going to name her George. But yeah, absolutely adore that. So that's nice.
Yeah, she's lulling you into a false sense of security.
Indeed. On the negative. Oh, go ahead.
Before we go too far, I got a donation right after the show ended the other day.
Oh, go ahead.
And I wanted to grab that. Thank you, Spartan John, for that feminist donation. I was just listening to the Monkey Show, and I heard the story about the bears breaking into homes in North California. It occurred to me you can't spell bear without B and E. I'll see myself out now.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Right? Yeah, you can't trust bears.
And at the beginning of the show, before we started, thank you, Retro, for the gifted sub going out to veteran. No, that's from you. To Unacceptable Views. That's who it went to. Unacceptable Views. Boy, are you in the right fucking place.
Right.
We have a story for that later.
Also on the bears breaking and entering, you're left with two letters, which are R. So bears may be pirates.
B&E pirates. That's just a bad combination. I guess that kind of goes together.
It would explain why they're constantly plundering picnic baskets.
Indeed.
Sorry,
and running from rangers.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say on the negative side of my day, I have not been able to concentrate on anything. So I have very few stories I want to talk about. The first story might take a while. So there is that. I did see, I can't remember if it was Ed or Brian. One of the Krasensteins was on with Joe. What's his criminal channel name? It's not a criminal. That's the wrong way to put it. He's a lawyer. Gained quite a bit of success from hanging out with Ricada.
Barnes?
Uncivil Law, is that what it is?
Oh.
But yeah, he had one of the Krasenstein brothers on, and I actually had to turn it off because it was pissing me off. You got one of the Krasensteins there, and he questions him. Good Logic, thank you. That's the name of his channel. Good Logic. His name is Joe, and he's questioning Brian or Ed. I think it was Ed, so we're just going to call it Ed. It was the fat, ugly one. I think that's Ed. And he's questioning him about this tweet that he made. We'll get to that in just a second. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist $12. Sickness update. Fever is stabilized at around 100, which is safe to say I am able to eat, and I managed to soak in a hot bath to act like a sauna. All in all, on the mend. Good to hear, my friend. Good to hear. Although I'm not sure a hot bath with a fever is a good idea.
Well,
look that up.
Yeah, I hope you feel better, man. Don't push yourself.
You don't want a cold bath because that can put you into shock.
Yeah, that'll end horribly.
But I'm not sure warming yourself up. I mean, depends. I mean, my wife's idea of a hot bath and mine are like polar opposites.
Yeah.
We never did the whole shower thing together. I mean, we've done it once or twice. Like, we just got to shower real quick. No sexy time. So don't worry about that. But, because one, that's not a sexy time. I'm sorry. They try to make it look that way in educational videos, but it's really not.
Yeah, there's water and steam and everybody's naked.
Wait, no.
It should be hot, but
sometimes there's steam. My wife takes a shower at like 30 degrees. That shit is cold.
She's like, it's kind of hot. Turn the heat down. Right.
I take showers so hot when I get out, my skin is red.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed that women tend to have a different thermostat than men.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, just be careful. We're getting way off topic there. Be careful with what ones you take. Running a fever, I'm not sure. Hot bath, but I'm glad you're doing better. And yeah, just do what you can. Do not overdo it. Rest. We're men, damn it. We got to start learning to just rest a little bit when we need to. Move the bear to San Francisco. There's enough shit on the ground. Does a bear shit in the woods? No, he shits in San Francisco.
That bear's probably looting for stuff to move out of California. It's like, give me your jewels. I'm out of here.
Probably. He's trying to go to Texas too.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, Krasenstein on there with, what was it? Good Logic?
Something like
that. And
that.
he brings up this tweet that Krasenstein put out about, hey, I implore you to go ahead and read the indictment, talking about the latest indictment, because if you read it, you'll probably agree he done wrong. I'm paraphrasing like a motherfucker, but that's the basic gist of it. And he asked him like, well, what part of it makes you think that? And the Krasenstein doesn't really answer. He kind of dodges away and like, well, it's in there. I'm sure he's got something. And
translation, I didn't read it.
Yeah, well, at least didn't memorize any parts that would matter. And Joe asked him like, well, you have to prove that Donald Trump actually didn't believe this. Something we've talked about many times. It was nice to see a lawyer back me up on that. The whole indictment is based on Donald Trump knowing he lost the election. If Donald Trump actually believed he won, then nothing he said is wrong. And him trying to stop the election from going through was actually his job. That's defending the Constitution.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he did, YouTube, for later when you change the rules again. But if he honestly believed that, then it was his duty. It was his oath, honestly, to protect the Constitution from enemies, foreign and domestic, which somebody stealing the election absolutely would be.
Do you know what Shaft's duty was?
No.
It was Shaft's duty to please that booty. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you, Samuel Jackson.
That's not Shaft.
Shaft.
I don't care that they remade it with him. That's not Shaft.
He's one bad mother.
Krasenstein's answer to this was he had to know because people in his orbit told him. Well, that doesn't change anything. Jack, if I tell you right now the sky outside my house is purple with smiley faces, are you going to believe me?
Implicitly, yes, always.
You probably shouldn't. Because it's black as fuck outside. I can't see anything. I wouldn't know if there were smiley faces or not. We're kind of overcast tonight. We can't even see the moon. Just having people in your orbit tell you things doesn't mean you're necessarily going to believe them. But he just keeps repeating it. And Joe keeps letting him get away with it. Fuck this. I can't watch this annoying shit. You got one of these little assholes on your show and you can't even press him on the bullshit. Krasenstein even brings up his own legal troubles. Doesn't push him on it at all.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, really? What were your legal troubles? Why did you give $450,000 to the government? Thank you, Easebees. Both Krasenstein brothers make disingenuous gaslighting arguments while claiming to be unbiased. Bad faith actors to the end. Oh, they absolutely are.
Yeah.
They are shitbags. They are actors in the truest sense of the word. If they think they can make a penny off of it, they'll say it.
Well, what do you expect from Justin Bieber fans?
Look, Brian, I am fairly certain, or Ed, whichever one it was, I'm fairly certain that there are people that you guys ripped off whose family and friends told them, hey, this is a scam. And they still did it.
Yeah. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Thank you, Keldrick. PayPal still won't let me give Monkey money. I think they know he's a cold-blooded lizard and he's gross and scaly. I don't think Monkey's a reptilian.
Yeah, I'm not scaly at all. My skin is smooth. Smooth. It was Brian. Okay, thank you, Fugi. It was Brian. So it was the fat, ugly one. Wait, maybe that's... I forget which one's the fat, ugly one.
I mean, does it matter? They're twins.
No. It's just funny to call one of the twins fat and ugly because that'll bother twins. It's a mean thing to do to twins, but fuck those pieces of shit.
Well, what did we establish? One's the dumb one and the other one's fat and ugly? Something like that.
Something like that. No, actually, I said one of them was the smart one and the other one's fat and ugly.
Ah, okay.
That just breeds more jealousy.
Yeah, and they probably get jealous enough watching the other one bang the other one's wife.
I would love to get into a hangout with those idiots and ask that dumb motherfucker, Brian, do you really believe if Ed fathers your kids that they're still your genetic children?
He really is the dumb one then.
He is. He's dumb as shit. Anyhow, instead of just, blowing off your wife's a whore joke, he actually engaged it and tried to win it. How dumb
that's
do you
always
have
a
to be?
successful strategy.
Why in the fuck do these people engage me? I just don't understand. I wouldn't engage. Well, maybe I would because I like fucking with trolls, but yeah.
Because they don't want to run away from a Chinese man wearing a monkey hat.
Ebony says, I don't think about them unless you bring them up, Monk. And that's fair. And on YouTube, that's probably a thing. On Twitter, those guys are everywhere. And they have been for a while, except for the year or so that they were kicked off Twitter for buying their engagement and buying their followers. Which they now claim they never did. And that's not what they were kicked off for.
They weren't buying them, Monkey. They were renting them. You're not allowed to own people anymore. That doesn't happen according to the critics of Sounds of Freedom.
Oh, these fucking assholes. Yeah, well, no, that's just with kids, man. It still happens with adults.
Nobody cares about adults.
Nah, nobody cares about adults. Remember, Eliza Blue was trafficked.
Yeah.
I was a hooker. Yes, you were.
Just getting picked up and driven around by strangers count as trafficking?
Yeah. I went through traffic when I was blowing that guy for $30.
Yeah. That's the same thing as trafficking, right?
Yeah.
Dur, dur, dur.
There was traffic on the way to that orgy. Anyhow.
We hit a red light. It was awful. My teeth cut right into him.
And he took $5 off. I finished anyway.
But I got a tip.
I'm a go-getter. That's not what we're here to talk about tonight. Let's get to the main story. This one's more serious, Jack. Shoe0nHead has a new video out, and it piqued my interest the way she tweeted it out. I haven't watched the shoe video in quite a long time, to be honest. And I saw her tweet for it. Oh, real fast. Let me get this. This is related to the last story before we move on. This one coming to me from Frosted Glass. Thank you so much, my friend. Tell me the Krasensteins aren't just the real-life versions of the McBoyle brothers from It's Always Sunny. Also, good luck getting that image out of your head. I have made jokes about them having sex with each other since I first became aware of them. They're a little too close. If they're not banging, I would be shocked. But they're grown men. If they want to bang each other in ways that will send them to hell, I don't care. Do your incestuous thing. Maybe that's what Brian thinks. I filled him up, so when he filled her up, it was me.
Oh, it transferred from butt to balls?
Yeah, it was just some osmosis.
Is that how that works?
Yeah. It was his sperm because it was in his... Never mind.
Wow, that's a
gross.
Disgusting thing that's going to haunt me almost as much as them drinking lots of milk and covering themselves in it.
The ambiguously gay duo. That's how they announced that. Well, that's how Ed announced their return on Twitter.
Ugh. Yeah, that was not a good idea.
People have been calling him that quite a bit before they left. And if you go back, you'll see their engagement was absolute garbage before they came back because all of their subs and stuff were bought. And it was still that way until they started doing the Twitter Spaces. Anyhow, Shoe0nHead. She tweets out her video, and in the tweet, she asks, "Are we responsible for Andrew Tate?" And like, all right, you got me. Let me see. Let me go watch this. It's an interesting video, Jack. It mostly centers on two things. Studies that have been done that show men are lonely. Now, when it says men are lonely, they're not just talking about female companionship. She covers things like there's studies that show men, the amount of friends a man has, male friends that a man has been cut in half since the 90s. So like in the 90s, you'd have like 10 friends, and now only 5 is the average. And of course, yes, loneliness with, being with a woman. And the other part of it actually revolves around this Vaush tweet. Now, I don't care about Vaush, so I did not go look up his tweet online. I'm just going to use it from her video here. It says this: I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand that 12-year-old white boys on Twitch are not being pulled into fascism because of some Machiavellian desire to preserve and expand their privileges. It's because the right talks to them and the left doesn't. Alarm bells went off when I saw this. They're getting smarter, Jack. They're learning.
Oh, I just figured Vaush wanted to get near 12-year-old boys.
Well, Vaush probably does want to get... Vaush has never told us which kind of kids he wants to bang. So he might want 12-year-old girls. I can't say. Maybe he wants 12-year-old pansexuals. I have no idea.
Pansexuals aren't real.
What I do know is that he is oddly defensive of pedophilia.
Indeed.
So anyway, reading this tweet, I mean, I've mentioned it. How many times have I told you guys, if you want to get really famous, be manly and go leftist. Now, the problem with that is you can't be manly and leftist. They don't go together anymore. You cannot be a manly leftist. That's why somebody like Vaush, it got such a big following, is because he's as close as they have to manly.
Oh, that's so sad. Him and Hassan, who's just hairy and whiny.
Doughy man bun boy is their closest thing to manly. But he's got a point here. This is, I mean, especially if you're looking at something like the rise of Tate. We talked about this briefly last night. Tate is out there telling men it's okay to be men. There's a shit ton of stuff that I don't like about Tate. I have ripped on that motherfucker repeatedly. I don't like him. I think he's a fucking scumbag. But when it comes to the stuff about, it's all right to be a man, he's right. And that's what draws people to him. You have a whole bunch of men out there who've been told for more than a decade now how much you suck for being a man. And actually, it's gone on since at least the 80s. That's when you start to get the rise of the women power thing. And just slowly over time, we just get told over and over how much we suck, how broken we are. We're just broken women. And you have somebody who stands up and goes, fuck that. This is how we're supposed to be. She almost gets it, Jack. She plays a lot of clips in here of people who responded to this. And as you might imagine, the lefties were not on board with this statement.
I'm shocked.
Most of it was like, oh, boo-hoo, how those poor guys. It was all a bunch of fuck men. And then they're surprised when somebody like Tate rises up. That's where all of his other bullshit, like where he's ripping off guys, that is a side effect of what made him famous. What made him famous, what gets him there, is just the bravado of being a man.
Yeah. And 12-year-old boys, 12-year-old white boys,
white boys.
You ignore that demographic at your own peril, because anytime there's a masculinity deficit, you have a vacuum. And that vacuum will be filled by something. And the more subversive, the more attractive it becomes.
Monkey, what happened to your voice? Different mic? I sound fine to me. Jack, am I all right?
Sounds the same to me.
Okay. I usually hear a difference in my voice before anyone else, so that's a shocking statement to me.
It might be because he's tired.
That could be, because I haven't slept with the fuck. But Shoe goes on and she's like, you can't just ignore that men are lonely, but she pays so much attention to the male female dynamic, and that's not just it. There we do have a problem with just people interacting with each other anymore. How many people in our chat have told us that they have no real friends? And it's just fucking heartbreaking. Now, look, I don't have many friends that I see in real life anymore. But if I left Jack a message saying, dude, I really need to talk to somebody, can we talk? I know as soon as he saw that and had a moment, what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what friends do.
And I would do the same for him. Now, it might take us a day because we're not always on Twitter, believe it or not.
It's shocking, but
that's what a friend is. Now, if Jack said, hey, can you help me move? I'd just laugh at him. One, I'm quite a ways away from you and a cripple, so that's just mean to ask.
I'm not asking you to break my stuff. Fuck that.
Will you drop my shit down the stairs for me?
Right? I can do that on my own. I don't need help with that.
But you have a problem now with men just not having any kind of support. Women have been so built up, and I don't necessarily have a problem with women being built up. The problem is women being built up at the expense of men. And we can point to that and show that has absolutely happened in things like colleges. Graduation rates, enrollment rates, they flipped where it used to be more men than women. Now it's more women than men, and it makes no sense. There's not that many more women in the country than there are men. It's like what, 50.1 to 49.9%?
That's because girls rule and boys drool, monkey.
And that's it. Yeah. That's hey, men, you suck. You need to be more like us. And these people get into things like men need to be more emotional. No, we don't. No, we don't. We have a real problem of women trying to help men out. And I appreciate it. I do. But you just don't understand. You just don't get it. Because even in this, I mean, she comes close, but she doesn't quite get, what it's like to be a man. Because they bring up Stoicism. And she actually, yeah, that's a social construct, but it's been around forever. It's not a social construct. It's part of who we are. It's how we deal. You women are the ones who are emotional and have a cry when you need one. And we hold that shit in and just stare off into the fucking distance until we're ready to move on. I need a moment. Just leave me alone.
Dude, ain't nobody gonna kill that mammoth while bawling about, oh, what if it's got babies?
Right. And I appreciate women trying to help because it is going to take women to fix this too. You men might not like to hear that because you men are fucking pussies and won't do it yourselves. Men are so afraid of pissing off women. Jesus Christ. You know what? It's okay to piss them off. Let them be pissed.
Yeah, we do it like every day here.
Right? If I said something that offended you, Jack, I mean, if I didn't mean to offend you, but dude, I didn't mean to offend you. But if I just said something that hurt my feelings, I'd be like, I guess your feelings are gonna be hurt, bro. Because I'm not changing my mind just because you got your feelings hurt. That's a female thing. And again, that's not bad for women. I've said this so many times. Men and women are supposed to complement each other. We're more logical, you're more emotional. That doesn't mean women aren't logical at all. I mean, that's fine.
Kind of does.
But you guys temper us and we temper you. That's how it's supposed to be. We're not all supposed to be whiny, crying bitches. Keldrick, thank you. Honestly, hearing about how lonely other people are, especially other men, it's made me incredibly grateful for the friends I have. Indeed, man. I feel bad for these guys. And look, all of them aren't like dorky looking losers. That's just not true. Most of them are just average. That's what average means, Jack. Average. And they may be a little bit socially awkward. But when you and I were growing up, Jack, there may have been cliques in school, but there actually were cliques. You had your nerds over there, your jocks over there. There was a group of friends everywhere. Now people just have no fucking friends. Nothing wrong with having emotions. It depends on when. It depends on when. Sometimes, Stoicism, this is one that gets so much bullshit. Stoicism, men don't need to be so stoic all the time. It's how we deal with our emotion. I'm angry right now. Move. I need to just concentrate on this shit and move past it. I need you to go. My heart's been broken. Yeah, I could sit down and cry, or I could push along and just keep doing what I'm doing and put that shit out of my mind. That's how we deal with it. No, that's not dealing with it. The fuck it's not. Whining and crying about problems doesn't fix them. Never has, never will. Hey, Jack, you ever need to fix something? Like, say something broke in your house. You ever have to fix something?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever sat down and cried about it and it fixed itself?
No, that has never happened.
Not once?
No, not even once.
You sure?
Yeah, quite positive.
All right. I'm just
In
making
fact,
sure
it
because
will continue to sit there and be broken until I get off my ass and fix it.
Yeah. And that's what men do. And yes, there are times to cry. She uses the example in here that men don't even cry at their grandpa's funerals. I've seen many men cry at their grandpa's funerals.
Yeah. That's
I didn't know my
you're
grandpa.
allowed to die.
I didn't know my grandpa enough to. It sounds cold, but I just didn't know him enough when he died when I went to his funeral to shed a tear. I wasn't being stoic. I just didn't know the man very well. I'd met him like twice, Jack. When my dad died, I bawled like a baby.
Yeah.
Because it's
first
one
time
of
I
these...
ever saw my dad cry was at his mom's funeral.
Yeah. There's times it's okay. And you know what? There's even times where I'll give guys an out. Yeah, all right, dude, you cried. No big deal. When it's something I wouldn't cry over. But if you're crying because the remote needs new batteries, fuck off. And I would even say, if your girlfriend leaves you and you cry, you need to suck it up, go find somebody else and fuck them. You'll feel better, I promise. Because that's the man way of dealing with shit.
Well,
Sitting
you
there
could cry if she took all your cool stuff and broke it,
I mean, you can be mad then, but you don't cry. You go fuck her best friend then, or you go fuck her mom.
Yeah.
You fuck somebody really close to her. That's how men heals, to want to be wanted again. And we've got to get away from men behaving like women and women thinking we need to behave like women. We're not the same. Is the left causing people like Andrew Tate? 100%. But you're not going to be able to get people over on the left. And this is where she really drops the ball in her video here. You're not going to be able to get people over on the left when you guys are the fucking reason for all this. She might not believe in the patriarchy, but most of the women on the left certainly seem to. Toxic masculinity is something they love to throw around.
Well, it's toxic,
Men are controlling narcissists. They love saying that shit. Even consensual sex can become rape in their fucking opinion.
Only if you regret it later.
How are you going to get men on that side? Any real man. Any man who's not just trying to fuck some dumb bitch who says stupid shit. That's why you see the rise of the trad wives, Jack. Because you see these women who are like, ooh, I know how to get a man. I will just not be a cunt.
Shocking, isn't it?
I thought this stream was going to be about her video about Sound of Freedom. I haven't seen it. As I said earlier, I don't watch Shoe very often. No offense, Shoe. It's not because I just don't watch Shoe very often. Stuff pops up in my timeline. That's what I watch, and her stuff doesn't pop up in my timeline very often.
I literally do not care about this woman at all.
It depends on the subject. I still think she's funny at times. I think she's insightful at times. I disagree with her on quite a lot, especially the lefty bullshit. But I don't have anything against her. It's just, I was watching tonight, Jack. I was watching history videos.
Nice.
I watched a video on the atrocities is what the video called them, that happened after Dachau, when Dachau's freed, and they decide to take it out on the Nazi guards who had been there. I'm like, that's not an atrocity, that's karma.
Yeah, that's just revenge.
And nobody ever was put on trial for any of this stuff. I don't blame them. They killed something like 8 guards. One of them stomped his head flat. Like, I'm okay with that. That piece of shit was part of the Nazi machine that was horrific to these people. And if one of them had the strength to stomp his fucking head in, I'm glad he did it. Now I'm be canceled for saying it's okay to stomp in a Nazi's head.
You monster.
Actual Nazi, a guard at Dachau. Fuck that guy. I'm glad he's dead, and nobody should have went to any kind of jail for that. Anyhow, what would you put him on trial for, Jack? Revenge?
Littering.
Murder?
Nope.
Fuck you.
No, you could get him on littering, disturbing the peace for all the swear words. Probably
Frankly, I would have been okay. I would have been okay if when the Americans or the Russians or the British or whoever came into whichever camp it was, had all the Nazis dig a big ditch, told them, hey, we're going to make you bury all those guys, had them dig a big ditch and shot them all. I'd have been okay with that.
Kind of surprised that didn't happen, actually.
Those people, there's a lot of stuff that happens in war where you can't say war criminal because it's fucking war, right?
Yeah.
Those people were fucking war criminals. They were horrific people. And some of them got to live much longer than they should have.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to get off on talking about but that's what I was watching today. That history stuff pops up, game stuff pops up occasionally. Beast Boy pops up. I always pop in and see what he's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this shoe just doesn't pop up on my timeline. I follow her still.
Creepy.
Apparently I don't have the bell checked or something. Lauren Chen and her have had disagreements over Twitter. Who? Shoe? Me and Lauren, we occasionally have disagreements. Sometimes she's been a little too defensive of some people lately, like Crowder and Tate, where I just disagree with her. Speaking of which, we had Candace Owens do another defensive Tate. Went after the one accuser.
Wow.
Because this girl, she's got a history of apparently calling people rapists and stuff like that. One of which is a guy who's in prison now for banging her when she was 15.
Yeah. It's almost like that one was accurate.
And then there's this other guy who committed suicide, and they're like, she drove him to suicide. There's literally no evidence that she drove him to suicide.
Yeah, maybe they're getting her mixed up with the Gamergate chick.
That was Zoe Quinn.
Yeah, led around by her vagina with that guy's magical fingers that apparently could seal themselves into vaginas.
Yeah, he's got that Mr. Fantastic hand.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if it's a Mr. Fantastic hand, she should have enjoyed that, is all I'm saying.
You would think, but I don't know. Maybe she's got all loosey-goosey from all the journos that were in there.
Maybe, it's possible. Well, anyway, back to our video here. The left cannot. And apparently she's got some links in her video. I'll throw the link to this video into chat. But there's some links in her video about some lefties who've been trying to reach out to men. And I clicked on one of them. It's like a year old. And I'm like, this is kind of gay. This is kind of gay.
Young men. That's just a YMCA video.
Young men. Listen to. Anyway. She's really close. She is. But she's just not going to get it. Partially because she's a woman. I don't think most women will understand what it's like to be a man. Any more than I understand exactly what it's like to be a woman. I do not understand the urge to cry at a commercial.
Well, it's to help shirk responsibility. Thank you,
no,
Keldrick. Did you like that one? Thank you, Keldrick. Given that the real Nazis were anti-Semitic, socialist, vegans, you probably will be canceled. Yeah, there's a lot of
True.
popular elements of the Nazis that they don't talk about right now.
Keeper Dam says, I don't cry at commercials. Some women do. It's not unheard of, and women are more emotional. You might not be, but overall, yes, they are. We're not going to deny that. We're not going to pretend truth isn't truth, are we, Jack? Women are just more emotional.
Yeah.
Or passion. You can call it passion if you want to. It's emotional. And there's times where I'm not going to understand. Yeah, I've had my wife, I've had girlfriends crying like, you won't understand. Probably not, but
you say emotional or passionate. I hear emotional basket case, and
I don't see. It's like the majority of women. I don't feel it's nice to characterize that as basket case, because basket cases, those are a special breed.
Those are the ones I tend to be around. So
yeah, you need to pick women better. You need to swipe right or left a lot more, whichever it is.
I keep looking for these legendary trad wives and keep finding women that are emotionally damaged and way too close to the blue gumball machine. So
Fugi says, I don't understand the woman urge to sing along with the Buffy episode Once More with Feeling. Don't make me sing that whole fucking thing. I'll do it.
They do that with most musicals, I've noticed, Fugi, that they just start randomly singing along to movies and stuff. It's kind of weird. I guess if you're rocking out in your car, it's one thing, but during a movie, that's kind of weird. I've seen it in a theater, and that was really weird. So.
The soundtrack for Once More with Feeling was excellent. It really was.
I mean, it was okay, but everybody copies that now. Even Star Trek just did a musical episode.
Oh, the Star Trek one. That's so bad.
God, that was so fucking stupid.
Real quick, Ease Bees, thank you. I don't want you to solve my problems. I just want you to listen to me complain. Yes, that is a woman thing that no man has ever said to me. Everyone. This is true. If I used this example earlier. If I reached out to Jack, dude, I need to talk. And Jack reached out, like, what you need? And I said, X is happening. I don't know what to do about it. And Jack went, why don't you try this? I would go, dude, I just wanted you to listen.
Well, you're not listening.
To solve my problem.
Yeah.
That is a woman thing. And thank you for the donation there. Yeah, Once More Feeling is great. Half of the Scrubs episode that also riffed on this was okay. Some of it was crap. There's other ones that have Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where they all turn black. They do kind of a musical through there, and like one song is okay in it. Not everybody has the ability to write that well. Just saying. I have no idea. That's a dumb men issue. What was the dumb men issue?
Why do men punch each other in the balls for fun?
I don't understand guys who do it. Honestly,
I don't either. It's juvenile. That's something that like stupid teenage boys do, not normal people.
Yeah, there's a time you're supposed to outgrow that, and I guess if you're making millions of dollars in a movie called Jackass, maybe. But otherwise, why are you trying to touch my nuts?
Yeah, it's kind of like a homoerotic signal flare for me. Some dude wants to slap my nuts. He's probably coming on to me. I find it weird.
I find that whole thing really, really gay.
Super gay. Like patting each other on the ass in football gay.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. It's so satisfying as a man to fix/solve something. I agree.
Yeah, as for have a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, as for patting people on the ass, I never understood that myself.
Because it's super gay.
I don't like the patting people on the helmet either. You ever had a helmet on and somebody slapped it? That fucking hurts.
Yeah, I don't understand a lot of that shit. It's just passive aggressive nonsense.
Always Sunny did have the Nightman Cometh episode. Yeah, and Nightman Cometh has a lot better music in it, but it was intentionally silly. Where the gang turns black, they actually try to make it more legit music, and it doesn't come off very well. everything comes down to poo. No, I'm not a big fan of that one. The only one I really like from the Scrubs episode is the one where DJ and fuck Turk singing to each other. Guy Love is the only good song on there. We're just talking about gay stuff, and I come back with Guy Love. Fuck.
I was gonna leave that one alone, but
Look. The whole purpose of the song is that they're not gay. It's a platonic love. That's true. So that one's okay to like.
I've seen that show. They're totally gay for each other.
They go a little over the top with it. I think the guy who plays JD, I said DJ a minute ago, JD, he's talking in some of the extras that you can watch on the DVDs. They brought one of the actors back, and he told him, yeah, they basically made my character gay now. Because they did. Anyhow,
well, basically, he was always kind of gay.
Do you think there's any chance anybody on the left can be manly enough to talk to men in a way that would resonate?
These days, I think it'd be very difficult.
If you look at the kind of guys that they attract, it's like we remember when we talked about who Antifa attracts?
Mm-hmm.
It's your guys who are misfits and outcasts and think that this is their way to become popular. The girls will like me if I say this. And there's some truth to that. They won't respect you and they'll eventually go fuck somebody else. But you might get a touch of boob that way.
It's been had by a bunch of other dudes, probably.
And then you're going to be, the butt of every joke. And by that, I don't mean actual joking. I mean, you are evil because you are a white man. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where you can't be a black man or an Asian man or a Latino man either because you're too manly.
And they're white adjacent.
You got to gay it up so that the women can feel safe. Yeah. I just don't. The left can't do it because the left are the ones pushing this nonsense of female superiority. Yeah. And that's their problem.
Well, they're never going to admit there's a problem with men as a group because that goes against the rah-rah girl power shit that they push, which is like 10 times past Andrea Dworkin at this point. So they can't backpedal because then they are exposing some sort of weakness.
Yeah, there's got to be a change. There's got to be a change in Western society. Now, another thing she points out in here is that they make a separation for men, cis men, and trans men. Trans men are not the same as cis men. But then she plays a video of this trans man who's like, before I transitioned and everything, I had all this support and stuff. But once I became a man, you didn't. But I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Everybody's gone. And this is a passing man. If I didn't know this was a trans person, I'd have thought it was a dude. Got a decently full beard, decently deep voice. I'm guessing they smoked a lot before they transitioned. And even them talking about how lonely it is to be a man.
I'll learn you, sucker.
Welcome to the team, man.
Yeah, you had it all settled, and then you're like, I'm going to join the losing team.
Yep.
Nice work.
And we are the losing team because, and this is going to sound so fucked up, we don't have more people like Tate. And I want to put an asterisk, a fucking huge asterisk there, when it comes to how we talk to men and telling men that it's okay to be men. Even if have you ever seen Jordan Peterson talk about Tate?
No.
He thinks Tate goes too far. And if you're talking about just the man stuff, I don't think he does. I think for the most part, it's fine. If you go into the get bitches and money, yeah, that's too far. But I think Peterson doesn't go far enough. Clean your room and make yourself better. All right. What about it's okay to give your opinion? It's okay to lust after women. It's actually fucking part of our biology.
What?
It's okay to see a fine looking woman over there and tap your friend and go, look at that, but she's fucking hot.
Oh no, that's not acceptable, Monkey. You can't look at women. You have
No.
to wait till they give you a signal,
Remember,
and a written permission slip.
remember that one dumbass commercial? I don't even remember what it was for, but there's these two girls walking, this guy standing up against a wall, and the girls walk by, and he gets off the wall to go talk to him, and his friend stop. Nah, bruh. Nah.
Yeah, don't bring your toxic masculinity over there, buddy.
Was that a Gillette commercial? Yeah, fuck them.
How
are we supposed to meet?
You're not. You're supposed to let the woman send you a letter saying it's okay to initiate a formal request to communicate with them. Once that's approved by your DEI consultant and it's gone through human resources, then maybe you can request a face-to-face meeting or a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, fuck that.
The new dating rituals are very complicated.
For the record, this doesn't just hurt men. This hurts women too.
Just because women are unhappy doesn't mean anything. That's men's faults too, because they didn't adapt well enough and know what the women needed, even though they weren't told what it was.
Peterson fell off despite his good lessons. It does boggle me that no one says it's okay to have unclean thoughts but not act upon them. Oh yeah, we're not supposed to think dirty. No. Some you and me, especially when we get joking, we might go a little bit over the line. But there's nothing wrong with us going, damn, that girl's hot. Thank you, Alan, for the donation with no message there. Appreciate it, my friend.
What is this line thing you're talking about?
What?
You said we go over the line.
line.
I don't know that. I don't understand what you're saying. Which is probably why we're in trouble.
Occasionally, I mean, Ebony has let us know when we cross that line. But there's nothing wrong with being like, damn, she got nice boobs. She got a fat ass. That is nice. I would like to put my wiener in that. I'm not raping her by saying, damn, she looks hot.
Step one, isn't it? That's what the women tell me.
This is destructive for all of society. Because women, and we've already started to see it. You guys are seeing, how are the men you're dating? How are they? Those little girly fucks who don't know how to fix anything, that cry along with you. And you're like, well, shit, I needed somebody to cry too. How's that going for you? We've seen articles with these women going, this is what I wanted in a man, but I really don't fucking want this. Yeah, because you're heterosexual. You didn't want to be dating a woman, but this is what you got. This is what you're building. Don't tell her that either. What? Tell her how hot she is? I'll tell a woman she's hot if I fucking want to. I don't give a damn. Ease Bees, thank you. They let you do it. Who let us do what? What we did now, Jack?
I don't know. They let you do it. That's that quote from Trump when he's like, grab him
by the pussy.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with locker room talk either. Not a damn thing. And I don't want to hear it from you ladies who you guys talk much fucking worse.
Oh, they're so much more judgmental.
Shio, thank you. Wait, you guys have lines you've crossed? Oh, yeah. I mean, we are on YouTube. It's not like we made the lines.
Those are arbitrary lines. I mean, geographically, there's no lines near me. I haven't seen any of these longitude or latitude lines that constitute some sort of verbal violation.
Oh, Keeper Dam says, no, I mean, graphically, don't tell her that you want to put your dick in her. Why not?
That's called dirty talk.
Why not? I've said that to my wife. And you know what, Jack? I got laid that night. I'm just saying.
That's how I get restraining orders.
You don't want to do it to any random woman on the street.
I mean, you just guys, when you walk up to a woman, I've discovered this. the cops don't find it funny when you walk up to a girl at like 2 a.m. on a lonely street and say, "I want to put my dick in you," because you're not supposed to talk loud. That scares them.
Yeah. You
And
got to whisper it.
yeah, and just when you walk behind them, stay a specific distance back and kind of shout it at them. And sometimes they run. I guess they needed cardio or something.
Alan says learning. You have to build up to that, but there's a point where you should be able to say that to the woman in your life, even if you haven't been romantic yet. You should feel that. You used to be able to do that. Guys, go watch an 80s movie and you see that they build up and they become closer and closer and suddenly they're humping. These days, there'd be a restraining order and police involved over that shit.
And probably a bunch of rape charges. Hey, real quick, thank you, Alan, who says, "Morning, guys." Morning, Alan. Hope you're doing well.
I go back to this example all the time because women fucking love the movie The Notebook. In The Notebook, that guy breaks all the fucking rules. All the rules they give us. She said no. You're supposed to move on and never see her again. Although if you do that, it upsets women. We watched that video the other day. But he just kept pressuring and pressuring. He kept being, "Hey, baby, what you think?" Trying to impress her, to get her attention. And he eventually does. And they live happily ever after till the very end of the movie. Because that used to be what we did, Jack. We used to chase women.
Yeah.
And not chase them around the office, grabbing their skirt, playing grab ass. No. Trying to get their attention, trying to get them to agree to go out with you.
Yeah, showing them that you're a good provider and you're not an idiot and all this. Also, that movie was totally unrealistic because she did not headbutt him once with that giant forehead.
You're just so mean to her about that forehead. And you know what? I thought of you today as I was watching a video.
Was it a giant forehead, people?
It was. It actually was. I don't even know the chick's name, and if I knew it, I wouldn't say it. But somebody who ruined their YouTube career that I was watching, and all I could think of as I was watching is, God damn, that is a big forehead. Right? It looked like a prosthetic.
Yeah, there are some people that just have that like Neanderthal trait where there's like a giant thick bone growth in their forehead, and you know that if they headbutt you, you're probably going to get a cracked skull.
All I could think was, you need bangs, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be really long bangs. It would look like she was letting her hair grow out, but she needed bangs, man.
Yeah.
Don't know any man that saw The Notebook. I've seen The Notebook. I'm a man.
Unfortunately, I've seen it. I was like, this movie's totally unrealistic and stupid.
Look, gentlemen, let me help you out here. No, it wasn't Susie Lou. Let me help you out here. Watching chick flicks will get you laid. It gets their little girly parts tingling.
Yeah, like, it's so romantic. Shut up.
You say that the next day when she's talking about how romantic it is.
Yeah, because you already got some.
That night, you're like, yeah, baby, that was awesome. You remind me of, our relationship reminds me of that and their struggle, and I'm so glad to be with you. How much time I got left? Yeah. So, gentlemen, watch chick flicks with your chick. She'll go watch action movies with you. Watch a chick flick with her once in a while.
Yeah, that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
If you want to meet a girl at a park, get a dog or a puppy specifically, and sit at a park bench with that puppy, reading a copy of Pride and Prejudice. Some chick will come up and talk to you.
Put on a wedding ring, you'll get laid. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Women like an attached man. Y'all are dirty bitches. Hashtag not all. I know some of you got morals, but there's a whole lot of you who don't. They're like, I got a wedding ring and my wife is standing next to us. Please go away.
Can she watch or
yeah. What is it with that, man? I think it's a confidence thing. I think men are more confident when they're with a woman. And so they don't seem as desperate, and women react to that.
I don't know if it's confidence or just comfortability, because like some guys get really comfortable when they're married and it comes off as being relaxed, whereas single guys tend to be a little bit more, on edge. But yeah, women can sense that shit,
Mhm.
whatever it is, and they want that because they also want to be able
Oh,
to have the idea that they can take something that some other woman has, because it's all about competition with them secretly. They just refuse to acknowledge that.
but see, again, it's not just the wedding ring. If you've ever been single and you end up with a girlfriend, you'll notice suddenly girls start hitting on you more.
Hmm.
So it's not even that they know that you are specifically. They can sense it. Maybe they smell the other chick on you. I don't know. Women, what is that? Keldry, thank you so much. Nothing as romantic as a film about a woman abandoning her wealthy, loving fiance for that greasy guy she slept with in college.
Yep.
Look, dude, I am not saying that chick flicks make any sense. 10 Things I Hate About You. I love that movie. But in this movie, they both have ulterior motives for dating each other. She is trying to prove that she can break up with him in 10 dates, and he has some bet with his friends about dating her. She wants to do it to write an article for the magazine or newspaper that she works for. Well, as always happens in these movies, it all comes out, right? Who's the bad guy? Who has to do the chasing in this? Him. She was fucking horrible to him for many dates. Not only was she writing this article and using him to do this to that end, having no real interest in the guy, she was fucking horrible to him on
Yeah.
purpose. And who had to do the chasing? He did. I didn't say it makes sense, gentlemen. I'm just saying it's a fun way to get laid. Watch chick flicks with your woman.
Yeah, I watched that Devil Wears Prada with Buddy, because my roommate at the time had his girlfriend over and she wanted to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both like, wow, this bitch is a horrible person. And she's like, oh, it's so romantic. She cheats on her boyfriend with this random dude, and they don't even hook up at the end. Like they're not together. They just bang, and then she uses him to get like a job or whatever. It was fucking awful.
Oh.
The protagonist in that movie is evil.
Real quick, yes, I said 10 Things I Hate About You. The movie's How to Lose a Guy in 10 Dates. Sorry about that, guys. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Dates.
10 Things I Hate About You is a modern rendition of The Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah, and it's actually I love that movie.
Yeah.
Even though I think the idea of chasing after that flat face ugly chick it took me out of the movie so many times because it's unbelievable.
Well, that's like everything with Reese Witherspoon as the female lead. Like, you're after that? Like, why? Or who's the other one that Renee Zellweger?
Oh, yeah. She can look cute though. She could catfish guys. See what I'm saying? In the right lighting, she can, and then there's other times it's like, ugh.
No, that chick's a hideous monster. Julia Stiles is way hotter.
I think Julia Stiles. What are those dogs? She looks like a pug. That's what she looks like.
No, because I don't want to have sex with pugs.
That bitch looked like she ran into a wall repeatedly.
No, she's still pretty hot too. Damn, she's held up pretty well.
No, she's not. That bitch is ugly. See, this is why you're single, man. You keep going for these ugly, crazy bitches.
Well, I'm not after fat back girl, so I guess that's something.
You'd probably still be in a relationship with her.
Yeah, that's probably true. I'd be trapped. She'd block the door with her girth.
There's a lot of you saying Julia Stiles is hot, and I do not understand that.
It's that smile, man. Yeah, it's like the Joker, but it's a hot Joker.
All right.
I don't know. I find her weirdly attractive.
Weirdly, I'll give you.
Well, like, she's got that mystique. Like, she's not supermodel hot, but when she smiles, you're like, yeah, I'd put it in her. Her and Kirsten Dunst.
You shouldn't be able to sit a plate directly on her face and it not tip to one side.
Hey, you don't dictate what I do in bed.
I'm just saying.
If I want to eat while banging her, I could bury my face in a big plate of spaghetti while I'm humping her.
Easy says, I hear you light every single cigarette. That's not true, because sometimes I mute when I do it because I have to cough too. She's at least a 7. She's at best a 5. What the?
Nah, I would agree
bullshit
with you there. She's a 7.
She looks like a fat girl without being fat.
No, I think you're
Yes.
thinking of Renee Zellweger.
No, I am thinking I know who I'm talking about. 10 Things I Hate About You. She was also in Born Identity, and I don't think she was in the second one. She was in the third, right?
Yeah, I think so. She was in
Yeah.
2 of them. I don't remember which ones.
First and third, if I remember correctly. See,
Yeah.
I know who I'm talking about. The bitch who looks like she ran into a wall.
She does not look like she
Yes,
ran
she
into a
does.
wall.
Yes, she does. I think you guys are just that dancing scene in 10 Things I Hate About You when she's on the table and you can't see her face, and it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of hot. And then she throws her head back and your boner smacks you for even getting a little excited at her.
No, her and Tia Carrera could have lesbian sex with me.
Anyhow, what the hell were we talking about?
I don't know. I totally lost the plot when we
Somewhere.
started talking about judging women again, because this is how we lose subs.
But again, it is all right to judge women. There's no reason we can't.
Oh, how dare you, monkey? That was outlawed by Gloria Steinem back in like the 70s or
We're not supposed to, well, in fairness, we're not supposed to judge anybody. But they have no trouble doing that when it's some incel.
Well, they're the devil, and they're usually cis white men.
You creepy looking incel. Snooch says, just noting all this down. Luckily, we're not going to take this down, so you can listen to it again and again if you miss a part. Just saying. I mean, there's not much more to say about it. Like I said, she almost got there, Jack. She was really close to what men need, but you're never going to get that on the left side, because the left, men are the enemy, and it's all about women empowerment. We talked about this way back in the 2015, 16, 17 era, where feminist is not about equality anymore. And now they even use the term equity, but it was always about superiority, always.
Well, on the plus side, matriarchies never work out, so it doesn't last.
It doesn't, but it's hell for men in the meantime, because I mean, we're seeing suicide rates go up. You know what loneliness really drives? Depression. You got no one to talk to. You just feel alone. Drives depression. And then you accidentally go to Canada, and next thing you know, you're in a box.
Yeah.
Just saying. Did you see the fucking story about the chick who went to the doctor in Canada? Now, I have not independently verified this, but she went to the doctor for suicidal ideation, and she was told, oh, we got to back up to actually get to see the doctor. Have you thought about medically assisted suicide?
Yeah, didn't we talk about that when it happened?
No, that was a vet who was just depressed. This is a person who actually went to the doctor for suicidal ideation.
Jesus Christ.
And they were like, do you want us to help you die? Yeah, Canada, what the fuck is wrong with you?
They apparently have too many people, and they want to get rid of them.
Hey, it helps bring down that national cost for healthcare.
Yeah.
Putting them in a box and digging a hole, that doesn't take very much at all. I mean, actually treating them. Delay says, how much time you got? Yeah. This is the problem anytime. I didn't mean to start talking about assisted suicide, but here we are. This is the time, or the problem anytime it's actually like government enabled. Even the discussion of it, it always comes down to, okay, we'll just kill everybody. It starts out with people who are in chronic pain. People like me, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he should be able to die. That's real cool. And then it always moves on to, all right, what about that guy who walks with a limp? Well, that guy's not walking with a limp, but he's not smiling right now. That guy over there, he's wearing the wrong t-shirt.
That one over there is mentally retarded.
Oh yeah. Just tell him he's on a Disney ride.
Yay!
Yeah, the stuff that's going on up there, it's getting really fucking nasty. If you're, in that really chronic state and you want to do it yourself, I get it. I understand. I just don't think the state should have a hand in it. And they're like, let him die with dignity. That's actually not a thing. It's not a thing. You shit yourself and you got tubes in you. Nobody dies with dignity. Stop it. What you mean is less to clean up.
Yeah.
Lying bastards. And you know what they should be doing? They should be going, you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. There's so much to live for. And point out things to live for. Instead, they're like, nah, you're right, bruh. Here, just sit down here and push that button. We'll take care of it for you. The fuck is wrong with this world? The fuck is wrong with this world where we're telling depressed people, yeah, you're right. You're right. There's no reason to go on living. And then we're like, what the fuck's wrong with men these days? Fuck. So much to live for in Canada? Not anymore. Sure there is, Della Hayes. What about change? What about change? What about a nice sunset? What about big titties? Live for big titties, man. Or if you're an ass man like me, live for a fat ass. Every so often, man, on Twitter, I'm not even trying to. I never look up porn on Twitter. I do not look at porn on my computer, Jack. I don't want any nasty shit on my computer. Every now and then I'll be scrolling on Twitter and suddenly there's just a big fat ass on there. Not cottage cheese, but nice ass. And just like, damn, I am happy to be alive. And happy to be a man, just saying. You can doubt it all you want, Frosted Glass. My computer state, I do not. I don't go to any site that might happen. Now, unfortunately, Twitter. I shouldn't tell this story, but it's true. I clicked on a hashtag yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. I don't remember what the hashtag was. And I start scrolling down. The fourth thing down, the fourth one is a dude with his penis in a dude with titties. And I thought,
yeah, it's amazing what random things lead to boobs or wieners in this case.
Well, over there on Twitter, it's very popular if there's a popular hashtag. Like right now, the big popular one, we'll get to it in a minute, is the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
You got to talk about what the FBI did. And I guarantee you, if you go to that hashtag and start scrolling down, it has 305,000 tweets going on with the FBI right now. I guarantee you don't have to scroll very far to find a dick and some titties, sometimes in the same picture. Oh, so Jack,
Monkey.
Let's talk about the FBI.
Indeed.
The FBI killed a man today. Well, yesterday now.
It's true.
In Utah. You know more about this than I do, so you'll probably have to fill it in. Why is porn allowed on Twitter again? Because it doesn't hurt feelings. That's why, Ebony.
Because it sells.
Because it sells, yeah. But anyway, apparently this guy, or reportedly this guy, had made threats against President Biden and Alvin Bragg. And they said others, but I didn't see it named anywhere.
Pull up the article, dude.
I don't have the article.
I put it in the side chat.
Well, which one is it?
Link. First link.
What did it say? Pull up the first link.
God, you ignore me so much.
For those of you who aren't married, this is very much what like being married is. I mean,
yeah,
we don't have
talk
sex.
and he ignores me. It's just
we don't have sex and we don't communicate well. It's just like being married. Utah man suspected of threatening President Joe Biden shot and killed as the FBI served warrants. Do you think after he was dead, they just threw the warrant down on him and then went, served?
Yeah, probably. And then they shot his dog for good measure.
Ease, thank you so much. Judge me if you want, but I got reported on X for sharing how beautiful bottom surgery is by sharing a picture reported for gore.
Wow.
Wow. You know, if you hadn't have put how beautiful it is, what you should have done is just put something on there like check out my Pornhub. or not Pornhub, OnlyFans. Then it'd be allowed. Anyway, an armed Utah man accused of making violent threats against President Joe Biden was shot and killed by the FBI hours before the president landed in the state Wednesday, authorities said. So this is kind of like when they kicked out all the homeless people down there in El Paso right before he landed, right?
Yeah.
This guy said,
real quick,
shoot him before he lands.
Well, you got to gun down the dissidents before the dear leader steps off the plane.
I just can't believe it, and we'll get to the rest of it. Are you telling me that they just finally got enough stuff to arrest this guy the day Biden's coming to the state?
Now, I would almost guarantee they were trying to make a show of force. Like, look, we're going to arrest anybody that threatens the dear leader. And it went sideways and they killed the guy. And they're like, oh, shit, this is going to be a PR disaster. Because I bet they wanted to frog march him out like he's a J6 defendant and be like, look, ha, 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 this is what happens when you talk against us. Now it looks a little more like Ruby Ridge.
Yeah, and I don't know what this guy said, and hopefully it's in the article. Special agents were trying to serve a warrant on the home of Craig DeLue Robertson of Provo, south of Salt Lake City, when the shooting happened at 6:15, the FBI said. Robertson was armed at the time. According to two law enforcement sources who spoke. Yeah, let me see the body cam.
Yeah. I'll believe that. Even then, was this a no-knock warrant? Were they just kicking in his door, not announcing that they're cops? Because that makes a difference.
I think you and I have been pretty consistent that if we see body cam footage and there's a gun, we're like, yeah, there was a fucking gun. That is what it is.
Yeah.
You moved. Did you see that one? I think it was last week, Jack, where the guy goes out in the middle of the street, pulls up a gun, and the police down him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was also trying to de-arrest a man.
Yes. And people are like, oh my God, I can't believe what they did. Motherfucker pointed a gun at police.
Yeah. And he has a history of hating cops and attacking them. And he's got a long criminal rap sheet. And he tried to get the cops to unhandcuff somebody.
Just because he's a rapist and a robber, if I remember correctly. And he pointed a gun at police. Doesn't mean... They should have shot him in the leg. I actually read one of his neighbors say that.
Yeah. The guy...
They should have shot him in the leg.
He raped
that guy.
He raped a minor. Let's not forget that. He's a pervert.
Yeah, wasn't it rape of somebody under 10, if I remember correctly?
I don't remember the age, but it was a minor. And it was forcible sodomy, oral copulation, and gang rape.
And this motherfucker, and you know what? None of that matters. He pointed a gun at the police.
Yeah, it's hard to feel bad for you when you make poor decisions in life.
There's no denying it. There's no like, oh, he pulled out a cell phone. He pulled out what? That was gleaming. That looked like a I don't know a lot about guns, but a 9 or a 45.
Yeah, it was a pistol. He pulled it out of his waistband, and he had interfered in the cops were talking to some kids that were fighting, and they were going to arrest one of them, and they're trying to finish that up, and the dude comes up and says, you need to take the handcuffs off him. And they're like, no, bro, that's not how this works. And he keeps yelling at them, and then eventually the one cop says he's got a gun, and then it escalated from there.
Yep. They noticed his gun, and the video itself, I mean, I don't know how anybody was on his side. I can see, hey, it sucks that he died. But when this was at best suicide by cop.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point being, you and I are pretty much, I mean, I feel like we have a decent standing to go, hey, you show me the evidence and I'll believe you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter which law enforcement agency it is. I mean, sometimes motherfuckers get themselves shot because they're fucking stupid. And the cops are right in doing it. Anyhow.
Real quick. Thank you, Bob, in the break room. It says, I believe you, monkey. I also never look at porn on my computer. Nope. Not once. No, sir.
You know how many computers I've had to fix because my dad would look at porn on his? Seriously. My stepmom called me over. Can you come fix the computer? And I'd get there and turn it on and just, this is back in the, when they'd send you the porn that would pop, 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 and just fill your fucking screen. Yeah. Be like, Dad, what site did you go to? I didn't go to any. Dad. No, I do not go to any fucking porn sites on my computer. You don't have to me, but I recommend do not go to porn sites on your computer. That's what your phone.
I only go to.
That's what your phone is for.
Oh no, I won't do that with my phone because I do way more important shit on my phone. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Apparently, this guy's like 400-pound cripple. He can barely walk with a cane. Which would be very important context in this. They also left the body in the road for hours, according to the neighbors. Don't get ahead of the article, dude. We're getting there.
Wait. Calm down. We'll get there. We get off topic. Alert. Robertson was armed at the time of the shooting, according to 2 law enforcement sources who spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity to discuss details of an ongoing investigation. Bullshit. Fuck off. You guys just murdered somebody. Sorry, shot somebody. I don't know what was murdered yet. Because he threatened the president. Since when, Jack, has any law enforcement agency been involved in a shooting and not immediately come out and told us whether or not they had a gun? This had to be an anonymous source.
Yeah, that's what got me too. I was like, something funny going on here.
We have never heard that before.
It's an immediate a gun thing. So he could say he was armed.
Robertson posted online Monday that he had heard Biden was coming to Utah and he was planning to dig out a camouflage suit and begin cleaning the dust off his M24 sniper rifle, a post that came after months of graphic online threats against several public figures, according to court documents. Robertson referred to himself as a MAGA Trumper. I feel like that. I feel like that one account on Twitter needs to have been involved in this. The one that this is a Feds posting their L's or whatever.
By Feds.
Anyway, a reference to former President Donald Trump's "Make America Great Again" slogan. You're just padding your words there. Everybody knows what MAGA means, dumbass.
What?
And also posted threats against top law enforcement officials overseeing court cases against Trump. Neighbors describe Robertson as a frail, elderly man. His online profile puts his age at 74, who walked with the aid of a hand-carved stick. Though he regularly carried guns, they said he didn't seem a threat. There's no way that he was driving from here to Salt Lake City, setting up a rifle and taking a long shot at the president. 100% no way, said neighbor Andrew Maunder? Whatever, outside the church across from Robertson Street. All right, I hate when they do this. I don't care what I think about the shooting, but neighbors, you don't know your neighbors, especially these days, Jack. I don't know shit about my neighbor. I know he's got 3 kids, a wife, and 4 ducks. That's it. That's what I know about him. And if he went on a shooting spree and they put the camera in my face, I'd be like, I never thought he'd do that. He seemed like a nice guy.
Nice, quiet man who often carried heavy things out of his house at night.
He liked to carry around a black duffel bag.
Called it his work kit.
Yeah, I get why they do this, but I mean, it's no more important here than it was in the Michael Brown case. He was such a, which by the way, apparently we're like on the anniversary or something of. I'm glad you're dead, fuckwad.
Yeah.
Biden flew to Utah Wednesday ahead of his visit to a Veterans Affairs hospital in Salt Lake Thursday to talk about the ACT Act, which expanded veterans' benefits. He also planned to hold a re-election fundraiser, because of course he did. He doesn't fly anywhere without doing that. See, in order to use Air Force One without having to pay the taxpayers back for fundraising, he needs to conduct official business while he's there. So he's going there to talk about an act that's already been passed, so he can claim, yeah, that was official business. It's a dirty thing that your politicians do, guys. A White House official who requested anonymity to discuss the matter said Biden was briefed after the raid. Robertson's post indicated he did appear to own a long-range sniper rifle and numerous other weapons, as well as camouflage gear known as a
ghillie
What's
suit?
he going to do with a ghillie suit?
He's going to become one with the night.
In fucking Salt Lake City. It's not like...
Monkey. No, he was going to frame Bigfoot. Like, Bigfoot shot the president.
I mean, I guess if the president was like going to the outskirts of Salt Lake, but in the city proper, what are you going to... You're going to stand out more in that. Never mind. It doesn't matter. This is something he had from probably when he was in the army or whatever. He's 74. Fuck off. And I knew how to pronounce that, Jack. It just pissed me off that I just read that.
Yeah, I know.
That's dumb as shit. For those of you who don't know, it's a suit that's made to look like plant life. So you can blend in with plant life. What's that weird green tree over there with the stick poking out? That's an old man tree.
That tree carrying a rifle?
Robertson was charged under seal Tuesday with 3 felony counts, including making threats against the president and against FBI agents investigating court documents show. Wait, what day is this?
Currently, it's Thursday. It was Wednesday a few hours ago.
What day did they shoot him?
I think it was today. Wednesday.
All right. All right, so his post was on Monday, and okay, they got the warrant under seal. Why would it be under seal?
Probably because it's a threat against the president.
Everything's under seal. Oh, man. Robertson also referenced a presidential assassination and also posted threats against Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, and New York Attorney General I fuck you, Adonis Paul. I want to call her Letitty. Letitia James. The time is right for a presidential assassination or two. First Joe, then Kamala. Robertson wrote in September of 2022, and you didn't arrest him then. You waited until this one. All right, that seems sus to me, Jack.
A little bit.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. When asked for comment, the president said he was shocked. I had no idea I was in Utah today.
No idea it was president either.
Sources say the suspect attacked so suddenly, FBI agents barely had time to shoot his dog.
Yeah.
Oh, God. The FBI investigation began with a tip about the Bragg threat from Trump's own social media platform, Truth Social, in March, after Robertson posted about waiting in the courthouse parking garage with a suppressed weapon and wanting to put a nice hole in his forehead. His account has been suspended from the platform.
Okay. First of all, don't make threats against people online.
No.
Second of all, most people that do this shit aren't going to do anything in real life. I know there are some crazies, but most of the time it's people that aren't going to do anything.
Yeah, and you can't take that chance, so they do need to investigate it.
Yeah. But at the same time, once you look at this guy and you're like, he's like 300 pounds, he's in his 70s, walks with a cane, he has to care for his disabled adult son. This guy's not likely a real threat.
Could he even fit in the ghillie suit anymore?
I doubt it.
No further details were immediately released about the shooting, which is under review by the FBI.
Oh,
at the Provo,
the FBI did nothing wrong.
Of course. At the Provo house where the confrontation apparently took place and which is connected with Robertson through public records, Law enforcement could be seen Wednesday going in and out and removing items. A broken window could be seen next to the door, and the blinds inside were askew. Did they shoot him from outside the house?
It sounds like he got shot in the street because they left his body outside for quite a few hours.
And why? Okay, maybe it was just I want body cam footage.
Yeah, I'm not, because the FBI has lied so much in the last 50 years. I don't trust their side of this story. I want to see a lot more about this before I believe them.
Travis Lee Clark, who known Robertson for years from working in their church ward together, described Robertson as frail of health, a masterful woodworker, and an established icon in their community. Robertson propped himself up on a wood walking stick he carved himself, said Clark, who was surprised he was considered a serious threat. Well, again, if you're making threats online, even online, they'll take it seriously.
Yeah, but they should do an investigation and not just send it a SWAT team. That seems a bit heavy-handed.
Again, if this is like the other guy and he points a gun at him, which is weird for the frail guy to make it to the middle of the street before he did that.
Yeah.
Then sure, but something's not adding up with just what we've heard so far.
If he has to have a walking stick or a cane, there's no way he pointed a sniper rifle at them. A frail old man who's overweight, probably has other health issues because of that. Something adding up here. He might have been armed, like he had it on his back, or he was holding it by the stock or something. Oh. I'm not buying that this guy was an immediate threat. Not until I see something disproving that.
Well, again, I mean, he had other weapons, so he might have the sniper rifle might have never been touched in this, and he had a pistol during the confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
But how does he end up in the street when they come to serve a warrant? Did they catch him outside? Catch me outside, bro?
They might have. I mean, that's a possibility. Otherwise, they lured him out. I don't know. I'm guessing that he happened to be outside at the time.
He was a boomer, and he was very political and sometimes made off-color jokes, but nothing that indicated it was a threat, said Clark, who added that he hadn't seen Robertson's Facebook post until after his death, which, of course, has been taken down so nobody can verify it.
Yeah. Or they went back in and added them later, to cover their asses.
Clark said Robertson had a collection of perhaps 20 guns, though he noted that isn't unusual for the area. State records show that Robertson pled no contest to a disorderly conduct charge in 98, but no details about the allegation were immediately available. What is that, fucking 25 years ago?
Yeah.
He was 50 at the time. All right. According to court documents, 2 FBI agents came to Robertson's house after the initial warning about him from Truth Social in March. They found Robertson wearing a Trump cap and what one described in a search warrant affidavit as an AR-15 style rifle lapel pin.
Oh my God. Not only was he armed with a fully semi-automatic Trump hat, he had a lapel pin that looked like a gun. Oh my God. We'll put this guy on the do not fly list.
You could poke somebody's eye out with that thing.
Yeah, fucking feds, man. They're just going after Trump supporters.
According to the affidavit, he told them his initial threat was just a dream and demanded they only return with a warrant.
Well, I mean, him off, I bet.
The March one, is that the one where he said it's time for an assassination? That is something that definitely needs looked into, but that's not exactly a threat. I'm going to assassinate somebody is a threat. It's time for an assassination is not. Welcome to free speech, guys.
Oh, we don't have that anymore.
I know. Thank you, Ease Bees. He discovered Big Mike's true identity. He's the one, you know what it was? He's the one who dropped the cocaine in the White House.
He had information that would lead to the arrest of Hunter Biden.
In a Facebook post days later, cited in the affidavit, he said, "To my friends in the FBI the Federal Bureau of Idiots, I know you're reading this and you have no idea how close your agents came to violent eradication." All right, maybe this guy deserved to get shot.
I don't know. He apparently just talks a lot of shit online. Um, did a 70-year-old man, was he stupid enough to think he could outdraw a couple of feds? Uh,
No, but I mean, it wouldn't be the first suicide by cop we see.
oh yeah, I know, but I don't know. I just have a problem with the FBI story on this. The fact they have an anonymous source telling us this stuff. I th- they usually, whenever the president goes somewhere, they send the feds out to round up all the lunatics and weirdos and tell them to skip town for a few days,
Mm-hmm.
or make sure they're not like actual credible threats. But
What?
something funny about this one, and with the
Oh,
FBI being who they are, I don't know. I find this all very suspect.
I don't disagree that there's something funny about it, but um, if these posts are actually his posts, uh, I can see him doing something that got himself shot.
Yeah, probably.
Over there on the I was gonna say Truth, we're not on Rumble. Snooch says, "You watch Adonis Paul too? I've just recently started watching his show. AP is awesome, and for those of you who don't watch it, you should check out his show. He's also been on here. Me and AP have been friends for a while. He's a good dude. All right, where are we? Rita Cat site co-founder said the social media post attributed to Robinson show the challenge for law enforcement officials who must decide when speech rises to the level of an actual threat. That was not an actual threat.
No.
But
the
that
FBI really likes killing dogs and children, so
apparently, sorry, I skipped one. Said he also wrote, "Hey FBI, you still monitoring my social media? Checking so I can have a loaded gun handy in case you drop by again." Again, that's not a threat. That is just being an asshole.
stupid to say.
Yeah.
Don't say shit like that online. You end up with this situation.
He also apparently said, "If I really told you what I'd like to do to Joe Biden, Facebook would censor me and the FBI would pay me another visit." Again, free speech. You're allowed to have bad thoughts about people.
Yeah, and your weird sexual deviancies nobody wants to know about.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the end of it. They go into talking to the person about censoring him, and the only one there is if he actually did say the thing about it's time to go with my ghillie suit and my sniper rifle. That to me constitutes the direct threat.
Yeah,
now, just because he's fat and crippled, I mean, they don't know that. I mean, I guess the FBI should have because they've been there before. You think that would be on a note somewhere, Jack?
You would think so. I don't trust the FBI about any of this. I have a real issue with it. Look, this guy said some really dumb fucking stuff online.
Yeah.
I do not disagree with that at all. But I have a real problem with their story of how this man died and their usual callousness about it.
That there was no story about how he died.
That's my point. There should be way more details about this than there are. And you shouldn't need anonymous sources. This sounds more like they did a no-knock raid, and he probably went for a weapon not knowing what was, and plus he's paranoid anyway, so maybe he just assumed it was the FBI and got killed. There probably would have been an easier way to deal with this than what they did, but gotta justify those budgets.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. The book depository would have collapsed. No shit.
Yeah.
Alan says if he just came out, none of this would have happened. Well, that's the thing. We don't know. I mean, if the reports are true that his body was in the street, he clearly came out. He was clearly out of the house.
Yeah. And much like Waco, if you're going to go after somebody, you get them while they're out, like going grocery shopping or something.
Yeah.
You don't go to their home fortress and try and wait them out. I think they were going for a publicity stunt and it blew up in their face.
I could see that happening. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
I
This is good.
I just with what he said, I'm not coming down on either side because either could be possible. We've seen the FBI flat out murder people before. Let's be honest about it. And we've also seen people do really stupid shit that got them killed. And like, that was your doing, homie.
Yeah. I have no doubt this man is responsible for at least half of the reason that he's dead by posting really, really stupid threats online, because that's real dumb. Don't do that shit. Most people that seriously want to do that, they don't post it online. But there are crazies, so they still have to check it out. But don't do that shit, man. Don't say you're gonna shoot somebody. That's just stupid. Don't give them the ammunition they want. Also, this is a good time to remind everybody we're brought to you by you. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button, share it on your social media, subscribe if you haven't, and if you're feeling generous, toss us a couple bucks at the Streamlabs links, which are going through chat occasionally and in the description.
Some more information came out about that Michigan case I was telling you, Jack. Telling you about last night, where that person dropped off a ridiculous amount of voter registration forms between in certain different segments up to 10,000, and at one time like 2,500. And it turns out that they were paid for by Joe Biden's presidential campaign to the tune of $11.2 million.
What?
Shocking, right? That's a lot of money. A lot of money. And it came from various different places. It went to GBI Strategies, LLC. It's a PAC, we'll call it that, for the Democrats, mostly for Biden, but also for the Senate campaign, and I'm guessing the House campaign. I haven't seen that one actually noted yet, though. $11 million. Surely nothing dirty went on.
No, I mean, how could you even think such a thing?
Once again, we'll not put this on the screen because who knows when YouTube will change their policies again, but I will drop the link. This is the person that's been following this up. Oddly, Jack, I have not seen a single mention of this in the news, in any news.
Why would they want to do that?
To cover the news?
No, it's all to grease the wheels of propaganda now.
I guess. Fuck. What a world, man. Oh. It's happening, and I clicked on I see, this is why I shouldn't click on shit, Jack.
That's I try not to click on things except boobies.
Apparently, what is happening in this, it's happening, is people freaking out because Taylor Swift is going to make a new version of an old song of hers.
Yeah, she's doing that with most of her albums.
I don't care. Swifties, y'all are fucking weird.
I, for one, have great respect for Taylor Swift because I have seen what her fans do to people.
Look.
So I respect her. I love her music. She is the best as ever.
I ain't afraid of her fans any more than I am afraid of that man Beyonce's fans. Fuck them both. Look, you can like her music, that's fine, but y'all are insane. Y'all are like 14-year-old girl insane, and there's no fucking way you've been following Taylor Swift this long and you're still 14 years old. Y'all need a hobby and a man. I'm just saying. And there's a lot of lonely men out there. We were talking about that earlier. So you could fix your problem right there. Still listen to Taylor by all means. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Too much free time and obsessiveness.
She's not even that good of a singer.
She's okay.
She's mediocre. She's average. There's nothing that sticks out about her voice.
That's probably why she can't keep him, man. Oh shit. Um,
She's average, man. She should have been a one-hit wonder, but she sucked somebody's dick, and now we all got to listen to her for the rest of the time.
yes.
No, she should have been Weinstein, in and out, one movie, and we're done.
Wow, that's it's a bit harsh. But it is what it is. I, for one, will never go and attack Taylor Swift because I don't want to be murdered by her fans.
Taylor Swift is Taylor's cute. I'm not gonna say she's not cute, but her singing voice, there's nothing special about it. She's average, and her songs are not like overly impressive or deep, or they're popcorn music. They're bubblegum pop. That's the kind of shit that's only supposed to last an album, maybe two. It's bop with chicks.
Oh my god, you are a monster.
I'm annoyed that I clicked on that, and that's what it was. It's happening, you guys. Shut up, you fucking weirdos. Anyhow, Jack, moving along. Chinese-run biolab in California that was experimenting on deadly viruses was awarded over $500K in U.S. taxpayer cash. Of course it was. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost predictable at this point. California gave the commies money. I'm shocked.
The firm that made COVID tests without approval won $150,000, from the Fed. Post bankruptcy, a Chinese-owned firm took over and now runs the lab of horror. This is a lab we saw the other day, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Read more: dead mice and frozen blood labeled malaria. Oh, we hadn't had that. That was not in the story we read.
Yeah, apparently the mice were also genetically bred for a specific reason. It may have been to transmit the coof.
And here we go, guys. There's some more of their wonderful conditions. Now, what the company who owns it claims is that they bought it. Don't pay any attention to the association they had before they bought it. And they just moved everything into a warehouse. They know nothing about it. Nothing about it at all.
Yeah, this was just a storage facility. Don't mind the used rubber gloves and beakers and tables and live mice. That was just storage.
Just storage. Yeah, and the only reason it was found is because an inspector happened to be walking by and saw a hose coming out of a hole that they'd put in the building that wasn't supposed to be there. They had a garden hose running into it.
Totally safe and secure.
And so he followed up on it and found this lab, and they're like, no, we're not doing it. It's just storage of shit like COVID with no actual storage containers. I mean, boxes are technically storage containers, but all the shit was in cardboard boxes. There's no pictures of it on this one, but yeah, this place is a hazard.
That's underselling it.
It's a health hazard. A serious health hazard where they're doing shit that nobody knows what they were doing. That's the great part.
Yeah, what's a little bit of terrorism, right?
You guys paid for it. Yay. Hashtag not all. All right. So we paid for the biolab. That makes sense.
Yeah, government money went to a certain laboratory of virology in a city over in China.
I would have been more surprised if U.S. government money was not going to it.
Right.
LGBT plus community receives priority lanes for checkpoints. Users angry as they're not disabled. This is the article. Some of y'all might get mad, so calm down. In the Philippines, a recent viral photo shows the checkpoint in the San Isidro district office. Conservatives are seeing this as an opportunity to mock the LGBTQ plus community, as some places are recognizing them as a disability. Well, as I told you offline, Jack, everything past the B technically is. Furthermore, this is alongside categories such as senior citizens, pregnant women, and persons with disabilities within its priority lane. Following that, a photograph of the sign is circulated online, prompting conversations and notably, criticism. The online community, including many LGBTQ plus individuals, has it. Stop calling them individuals. They're collective. Stop it.
It's a Borg.
Anything that says LGBTQ plus is a collective.
Yeah, just by its very nature, the acronym.
Plus the way they act. That's what I'm going by.
Fair enough.
Oh, you got to think just like us. Shut up. Has expressed dissatisfaction with the special treatment, suggesting the sign. Oh, suggested by the sign. I missed a word there. Well, I mean, it's the Philippines, but I'm shocked we don't have something like that here. Like,
well, I mean, they do get all the special treatment these days, so
they go through so much. Don't they deserve to get through the line faster than you cis shitbags?
Remember that one video we saw of the person saying you should see what you could do to lighten their burden and do like their dishes and stuff. This would just be the stunning and brave line.
Yeah, this is the stunning and brave line. I like that, Jack. The S and B line. The sand B line.
Sorry, sir. You have to step out of line. You're not stunning and brave enough.
You know, Jack, we saw on Twitter from, I forget who it was, some major corporation, where they're telling people that you couldn't apply for a job unless you identified as Black, Latino, or something other than white.
Yeah, Best Buy just did that too.
It was Best Buy. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Honkies, I need you to listen to me. Cis people, I need you to listen to me. Unless they're making you prove it, take advantage. Unless you're going in this line and like, hey, to be in this line, you got to suck a dick. Tell them I'm gay. What are they going to do? Say you're not? Prove I'm bisexual. Prove I'm not. That I identify as black. You just said I had to identify as black. Prove I'm not black. Don't give me that job because you don't think I'm black. And let me see. Watch how I sue your ass. Y'all got to start playing along with this shit and sue them for it. When they're like, you're not really black, sue them. How dare you say I'm not black? How dare you? With your white cisness. Black. Exactly. Because it just said identify.
What are they going to do? Make you take a DNA test?
Yeah.
Because that would be a violation too.
Even if they did, I identify as black. I didn't say I had black ancestry. I just said I identify that way. I like Wayans Brothers movies.
Oh, and if you're like Elon Musk, you could say, excuse me, but I'm African.
I like rap, Wayans Brothers movies, and fat asses. Prove I'm not black. I'm just saying. And don't get me started on my food choices, because that'll get me kicked off the platform. Da-da. I'm just saying. Prove I'm not. All right. Next up on our list here. What we got this time? Oh, that's interesting.
That's why I brought it.
I hadn't even seen anything like that. Court cuts down Hawaii knife ban in controversial Second Amendment case. A panel of 3 judges ruled unanimously that Hawaii's butterfly knife ban violates the Second Amendment. It does.
Well, arms are not. Plus,
arms are not specifically defined in the Second Amendment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, plus flipping butterfly knives around is cool. It's very 80s.
You like mayo. So does a lot of black people. I also like hot sauce. Ha! I'll see your mayo and raise you a hot sauce.
Real fast.
I like white girls. Ha ha.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. On a totally unrelated note as to whether it could be a disability, here's a gender we found in the last episode of the Corner. Ratbionic. Zeo gender related to rats and being a lesbian or being a rat lesbian.
Ew.
Wow. That sounds really fucking weird. Also, it kind of makes it sound like lesbians will rat you out to the cops, like they're
It
snitching.
does. Snitch lesbians, man. Snitches get scissored. All right. Somebody in chat said butterfly knives are a horrible weapon. Where was that at? I'm trying to give credit. Mez said that. Yeah, butterfly knives are not practical.
No, but they look really cool in the movies.
A
You
switchblade
flip them around and make that clicking noise.
Switchblade's much better, and a Bowie knife is better than that.
Well, yeah, but you can't flip
I'm
those
just
around and
saying.
make that cool clicking noise.
You can't scare people with them. Not the way you can with a butterfly knife, right?
Yeah, it makes that cool clicking noise.
You can stab somebody with a steak knife a lot quicker and easier than you can, because with a butterfly knife, you have to get it open.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks really awesome.
It does, and it looks scary. That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, people are blinded by the motion of it, so it's like hypnotic.
Not to mention, by that time, you've already been stabbed. Because only in movies do people wait for you to open the knife, dumbass.
Right.
Anyhow, a panel of federal judges ruled a Hawaii law banning butterfly knives violates the Second Amendment under the Supreme Court's new history and tradition standard. And just because it's a knife. Hawaii has not demonstrated that its ban on butterfly knives is consistent with this nation's historic tradition of regulating arms. Judge Carlos B., an appointee of former President George W. Bush, wrote in the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals opinion on Teeter versus Lopez, which was released Monday. This is the Ninth Circuit that came down with a unanimous decision supporting butterfly knives. That's actually a little shocking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
We conclude that Section 134-53A violates plaintiffs' Second Amendment rights. We reverse and remand. I'm curious about the name of the case, because this isn't Teeter versus Hawaii or Lopez versus Hawaii. Now, sometimes it'll be versus the Attorney General or against the governor. I don't even know the governor of Hawaii right now.
I have no idea.
I imagine it's Maui. Maui is always their governor. The decision overturns a lower court summary judgment in favor of Hawaii, a state which has had a ban on butterfly knives in place since 1993 and has since expanded the ban to the manufacture, sale, and possession of the knives in the state. Really?
Well,
did they have a whole bunch of people stabbing each other with butterfly knives?
No, it just looks scary. But once they make a regulation, they have to expand it to encompass everything. And then trample everything in sight because they're stupid.
If this made it back to the Supreme Court, the Hawaii law might actually stand.
I don't know.
I don't think it should, but I am glad to see that appeals courts worried about being overturned by the Supreme Court is erring on the side of allowing things. This is the Ninth Circuit, for fuck's sake. You can sit there and
use a little more freedom.
Yeah, you can sit there and tell me that this guy was appointed by Bush, but who were the other two? Because this was a 3-0 decision. Who were the other two? They're all worried about being overturned, and they should be, because a law like this is stupid. Anyway, Hawaii officials attempted to argue that 93 law was historically rooted to statutes in the state going as far back as 1837, which regulated Bowie knives, Arkansas toothpicks, slung shots, metal knuckles, sword canes, and other deadly weapons. However, that rationale was dismissed by the Ninth Panel, who argued none of the cited statutes categorically ban the possession of any type of pocket knife. Well, even then, I mean, if you're using the standard from the Supreme Court case, it's not based strictly on the state it was in. The court case itself is historical for the country. And unless it was historically for the country banned, then you don't have an argument. That's, I mean, if you're going by the Supreme Court case, that's what you got to go with. I should have been a lawyer, Jack. As much as I read this stupid shit, I'd make a lot more money. I would be a Law Monkey. Law Monkey would be a great channel, and everybody would tune in and be like, "Let me see your nipples," and I'd be like, "You guys are fucking weird." And I said, "Let me see your nipples," and I would be like, "Give me money, and I'll show you my nipples." And they'd be like, "Here you go," and I'd be like, "I'm not showing my nipples until next time." And we do the same thing over and over until they got mad at me.
You have to buy the nipples of a failed transition surgery, and then you can show them that in a jar.
Everybody wants to see my nipples. That's just how I feel.
I don't want to see your nipples.
You do. You just don't understand it, because if you saw them, you'd be like, "I needed to see these."
No, I don't think that would happen.
I understand what you're saying.
If you ever show me your nipples, I'm gonna be like, Lady Monkey was right. Those are weird.
My nipples are not, and she doesn't say my nipples are weird. She says they're placed weird. Because Lady Monkey thinks men's nipples should be more centered like women's nipples are. And we're just not.
No, I'm just going to hit you in the ego for showing me your nipples.
You can't hurt my ego. How many times I got to explain this to people?
Try and give you a complex.
The only person that can hurt my ego is my wife. I told you about it. I don't know if I told online. The other day, I was trying to get her to compliment me, and she wouldn't, because apparently my ego was already too inflated that day. I'm like, for real?
I like that she tells you that. That's so mean.
She does not like how inflated my ego is. I can't help it. I'm wonderful.
It's hard to be modest when you're as amazing as I am.
Wait, is this... Oh, God. Can we show this video? I jumped down to the end. They don't actually... This isn't the kissing video, is it?
Yes, it is.
Do they actually kiss?
No.
Okay. Because, I mean, there is a video of them actually kissing.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
Okay.
People are weird enough looking.
These are the island boys. Is that what they call them? They're dumbasses.
I don't know what I've never seen these clowns before.
Oh, really?
Stupid tattoos are so ridiculous. So badly done.
These fucking idiots have been around for a while doing stupid shit. Wasn't one of them at the scene of a murder recently?
Probably.
There was a shooting where one of them was at. They're fucking weird. Anyway.
Well, look at their tattoos. They look like something some people do at parties on the drunk guy that's passed out.
Yeah, and both of them look like this. It's kind of what made them famous, is looking like retards.
Yeah, so, looking like...
My brother and I, we created an OF. We started off by taking just underwear pictures and just showing our bodies and stuff like that. And then people in the comment section was like, "Okay, that's all you guys gonna do. You guys got to do a little bit more than that." So I did some research. I'm like, "Yo, is it a problem if you kiss?"
You did some research. Like, how much is there to like sort through
research? Asking like,
I don't think there's any twin.
Okay, these guys are twins, and what they're talking about is a video that came out recently where one of them was kissing on the other's neck for a while, and then they kiss. Yeah, twins. They go full Krasenstein on camera. Yeah. All right.
Twins out there that be making out with each other.
It's actually not illegal for homosexual incest in Florida.
The fact that it has to go there.
You should never look that up. That should never be a question.
My brother lived in Florida back in the 90s, mid-90s.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a case where somebody dug up a dead body and had sex with it. And apparently they didn't have a law on the books for necrophilia.
Oh.
So they could only charge him with like disturbing a grave or some stupid thing like that. It was like a fine. So Florida's lacking several common sense laws, apparently.
By the way, I want to point out the Krasensteins live in Florida.
That explains a lot.
There. Imagine getting arrested for fucking your brother. That's crazy.
No, but that's the thing. I never fucked him.
What's next?
So then I did some more research and I realized that in different religions they let you kiss your brother because it's not considered
if
sexual
you are
act.
religious, but you're not.
But you could be in any religion you
So you
want.
just choose just so you can kiss your brother.
Just shut up and let me talk. Okay, so then we came out with the kissing video. Actually ended up being successful. So, but we never did anything more than that. There's no sexual intercourse going on.
Yeah, we're all waiting for it.
What about him kissing on your neck?
It's nothing sexual, Monkey. It's just foreplay.
Just a little foreplay between brothers. It's not sexual.
These guys are so fucking dumb. I like that the host guy in the middle with the blue shirt there. He's like, well, what do you think is next?
Yeah.
One of you is gonna end up with a dick in your mouth. So,
which one of you's the bottom? Who came out first?
You think that'll ever happen?
No,
You want to your brother?
bro, I don't know what you're talking about now.
My brother.
Why are he all exasperated? You put out a video. I don't know which one was which, but one of them is behind the other one, kissing on his neck sensually. There's no religious aspect to it at all.
oh, it's so weird.
And then it cuts to the two of them standing face to face, and they go, why are you acting exasperated that somebody's asking you if you guys are going to blow each other? Come on. You got your first video, you got your shock value out of it. You put another one out where you two fucking idiots are kissing. People will be like, oh, these idiots are just doing the same thing. Eventually, that's going to not be getting you the clicks anymore. What you going to do then? That is a valid question. Are you going to look for a religion where it's okay to cornhole your brother?
They probably are.
Thank you, Dangerous Spaces. Holy shit, that pineapple has a face. Yeah. Both of those idiots have their hair like that. Again, this is kind of what made them famous. They are the Lady Gaga of the online influencer sphere.
They look retarded. I mean, those tattoos are stupid enough, but they're not smart either. Like, there's nothing redeeming here.
Nope. It's just gross.
Yeah.
And the fact that you looked up whether or not it was legal to be humping your brother, that's fucking weird, homie.
That means they're totally gonna bang.
Yeah. They did you notice the second guy who talked? You know why he was all exasperated? Because they already drew straws and he drew the short straw.
He drew the bottom straw.
Bumming. He's got a butt plug in right now to start stretching.
Yeah, fucking weird, man.
I'm the one that's got to do it for clicks. And then where do you go after that? Bring your mom into it? I don't understand.
Don't give them ideas, dude. They seem very impressionable and stupid, so won't surprise me.
Alan says you're all sick. I didn't make this shit. We're actually mocking these idiots for the stupid shit they did. I'm not saying we're not sick, but in this case, it's not our fault. Fucking weirdos, man. It's amazing what people do for clicks.
Yeah.
I mean,
get a job, weirdos. I mean, how much money are they really making off OnlyFans by making out with each other?
Probably a lot. There's probably enough fucking degenerates out there.
That's sad and gross.
Yeah.
The whole teachers union's behind them, probably.
Look at that chick who blew her husband away while she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Because the dumbass believed him when he said, if you shoot me with a Desert Eagle, a 50 cal handgun at point blank range, a phone book will stop the bullet. They did it for clicks. She wasted this motherfucker on camera for clicks.
Yeah, we're going to end up with a bunch of warning labels on stuff for like online content. Like, don't do this. Because we got to protect dumb people from being filtered out of society in new and creative ways.
We just had that retard who climbs skyscrapers so he can get photos of himself fall off a fucking building.
Yeah, the most predictable thing possible.
Phone book for China might have worked. Dude, you can shoot through a fucking engine block with a Desert Eagle. It's a 50 cal handgun. Do you realize how strong that is? That is a powerful fucking gun, Jack.
Yeah, it is. And that guy was dumb, and that's
You know what-
nature took care of that.
Oh, Brad, I know you're kidding. You know what you should have done? You should have tested that out first. Go out somewhere, put up a phone book, and shoot the thing.
That would have been the smart thing to do, or come up with something better as the way of content. But people are dumb, and they're going to continue to be dumb.
Everybody goes to the Tide Pod thing, but there's not a lot of evidence of too many people doing that. But the cinnamon one, you can die doing that.
Oh, yeah.
And tons of people, mouthful of cinnamon. That shit is so fine, it gets in your lungs and you die. And these fucking retards, because I'm going to be famous. Look, Jack, I want fame. I like fame. I like being noticed. I'm an attention whore. But fuck, have some standards. Dude's kissing his brother for clicks. That's where we are. I'm going to look up whether or not I can bone my brother. I feel like if you look that up, you should end up on a watch list. Am I wrong about that?
No, but they're probably going to get jobs as teachers now.
Like, how young can I? No, I'm not going to finish that sentence. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us tonight. Ending on Krasensteining your brother. That's what a way to go out.
It's a different world we live in now.
Different world. You realize there's people, there's young boys who look up to those two idiots.
Oh, gay young boys, I assume.
The kind of people who have this fame. If you look at the most popular folks out there, like XQC, who I've been making fun of for being a thief and piece of shit. Most of these people, their fan bases are in the teens.
Mm-hmm.
All these fucking weirdos are in the teens. And they have kids looking up to them. No wonder Andrew Tate rises. Fuck. Like, let's see. I can bone my brother, or I can get a Bugatti and bang hoes. I mean, my brother is cute. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us tonight. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you for the donations. We can never thank you enough for that. And not just because you make your money, our money, and it allows us to eat, but that you guys like us enough that you're willing to support us financially. That is amazing to me, and I really cannot express my gratitude.
Absolutely.
Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link to some cool video, but thank you guys for the donations. You're awesome, and we do appreciate you coming out night after night and supporting us.
I will not be gaming tonight. This show was iffy. So we'll try to get back to it tomorrow, guys. The game channel is always the one that suffers when I'm suffering. So when I can, we will definitely do it, but not tonight. That's over on Ranting Monkey Games. If you guys want to check it out, been playing Baldur's Gate 3 lately over there. And Jack, that game is fucking awesome. I know guys, for those of you who are new around here, don't leave until I sing, because often things go off on a tangent.
No, what?
I watched a video today. This guy talking about all these developers who are mad at Baldur's Gate. And they're not really mad at Baldur's Gate. They're mad at fans. And here's why. Baldur's Gate is a good game. Baldur's Gate delivered on everything they promised. Baldur's Gate came out and said, fuck no, we're not doing any kind of cash shop. We made a game, you buy it, it's yours to play. We wanted to give you this experience. That's what they're mad about. And they're out there going, oh my God, you shouldn't expect this from game companies.
You should expect a full, complete game.
Yeah.
Who's making these complaints? Game developers?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Did you start off with a custom character or prefab? Custom. I never play a prefab character. I like to screw it up myself. Thank you.
See, I was really disappointed with Baldur's Gate. I looked at that, and all I saw was a bunch of fantasy stuff and combat. Not once was there a man balder than the previous game. Not once.
Well, yeah, you can make the guy as bald as you want.
Yeah, but can you make him balder than last game? No. This is the
I
third one. You
think-
should be like completely bald by that point.
I think technically there are more bald people in this game than in the last one. There's
That's
a lot
just the
more
women.
Gith Yankee there.
Well, that's fair.
And some of them are just straight up bald. But they're mad because and the one there was a argument on Twitter about this. This game developer, he comes out and he goes, you should not expect this to be the standard. It's an exception. It's abnormal. It shouldn't be abnormal.
It didn't used to be, but now they've gotten complacent and lazy, and they're like, let's half-ass it and then make the fixes a DLC that they got to pay $20 for.
I was so excited for D4 because I had fun in Diablo, Diablo 2, and Diablo 3. Even Diablo 3 I liked. Even though I did eventually get bored with it and stop playing, occasionally I'd jump back in for a season or so. A season just these like little things where they have you make a new character and accomplish these tasks before a certain time. Something just felt off about the game. And what feels off about the game is that they clearly built it for the seasons, not for the game itself to be good. It's very much the way the remake of Call of Duty Modern Warfare felt. They didn't even try with the story. It is so bare bones. And the very last thing it does is like, now you're ready to play online is basically what they tell you. It was a training module for playing online instead of it being a full game like the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare was. But it's a remake of that, Jack. Everything these days is built off of getting more and more out of gamers, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. I don't have a problem with a cash shop where you buy a new ugly ass skin that I'm never spending money on. If you want to spend your money that way, that's fine. But all of the stuff where they're trying to force you into buying like game packs and all this other nonsense, that should not be a consideration for the game itself. That should be extra. That should be added on. And it's not anymore. And they're mad because somebody made a game that's not like that.
Added value? What? Look, you're lucky they give you the broken value that you get. What do you think this is, No Man's Sky? Where they're going to actually fix stuff? Whatever.
I might disagree on what? Horse armor? Yeah. They gave you some horse armor free. Larian Games with Baldur's Gate 3, they have different tiers of the game that you can buy, which does give you a little bit of extra cosmetic shit. They gave it away free to people who had been early backers. They didn't be like, oh, everybody's got to buy it. Just, they're like, yeah, fuck it. Give it to the people who've been with us. Even if you did early access the day before. Fuck it. They backed us when we needed help to get the game finished. Now, there's some things in there I don't think you can expect from every game. Like, the cutscenes are gorgeous, Jack. They're absolutely fucking amazing. You're not going to get that from every studio. Every studio is not going to have the resources to get a good graphic team like that. But one of the things they bitch about is there's too much content. Too much content? The fuck are you? One guy said it's Rockstar level content. Going back when Rockstar actually put a bunch of shit into their game and wasn't just making it about their online shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Because they could have sold those as like 5 DLC packs. You've put way too much in. What are you doing? You're just leaving money on the table.
The lizard sex won't be in every game. Yes, that's true. But if you look at the original Baldur's Gate 2, Diablo 2, games that are still played to this day, there's not fancy cutscenes and shit in there. I mean, okay, Baldur's Gate or Diablo 2 has a few because it is Blizzard and they have an amazing department for that. But the gameplay, the graphics, they're not like beautiful or anything, but the games themselves were compelling. And that's what these idiots aren't getting. Make a compelling fucking game.
You should just buy whatever they put out.
And then, and instead they're like, oh, we just can't make a good game. I cannot count the number of games that I've gotten, Jack, where I've got them so that I have them on day one, where there's a day one fucking patch. And this is before anybody's had the chance to play it. So it's not like they got reports from somebody in the, oh my God, we got to fix this real quick. This is shit that they knew was broken at launch before they launched it.
No, see, day one patches, those are a courtesy monkey. They could wait a couple months and give you those.
For fuck's sake, that should not be standard in the industry. But it is.
Yeah, because they still sell stuff. So as long as they're getting rewarded for a shit product, why would they change? That's why this is the norm.
And I hear you. But if you want to play the game, that's what you got to put up with.
Yeah, but you should want to play a finished game, not a half-assed one.
I do want to play a finished game. Unfortunately, whether I buy it on day 1 or day 10 after all the patches have come out, still the same game. I hear you, and I understand that argument. Don't support these companies who are doing that. But sometimes I want to play the game, Jack.
Well, that's where the line is, I guess.
This isn't like the 90s where there were a lot more games coming out. I mean, games these days take decades to make. So I hear you. I shouldn't support them. I'm part of the problem. I'll admit it. But when you have developers who are like, yeah, fuck them. You should not expect that much content out of a game. Go fuck yourself.
Frosted said they misspelled Gollum in their apology letter. That's fantastic. God, the Gollum game, yeah, that thing was fucking horrible. It put the studio out of business. Ugh.
Yeah.
See, I grew up with the PS1. That's when I was a hardcore game player. And after I didn't get a PS2 till several years into that one. So I'm still stuck in that like mindset. If I'm buying the game, it should be complete. And I've been a sporadic gamer ever since, but even early Xbox 360 games, when I kind of got back into it, were largely complete, and you didn't have to have a whole lot of patches.
Well, here's another one for you, Jack. Red Dead Redemption. I just told you the other day, I'm so excited for this game. It's coming out on Switch. I never got to play the original Red Dead. Not the original, not Red Dead Revolver. Red Dead, the Jack Marston story. And I'm excited to play it, Jack. And then Rockstar had to come and shit on it. Rockstar comes out and tells us they haven't changed anything about the game. They've just ported it. A 13-year-old game, they ported it to the Switch. And it's going to cost $60.
That's stupid.
$60. And then the head of Rockstar comes out and says that it's I forget his exact wording, but mathematically viable or some stupid shit like that. No update to it, nothing. It's just a straight port. They just made sure that it would run on the engine that Switch runs on. Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. If I did have a complaint with the game, it doesn't have a lot of variability. Like, I know every encounter and where it'll be. If they could just, some of them be moved around so you don't know exactly what will happen on a replay would be good. I hear you, but it is built like old school RPGs were on computers. If you play the original Baldur's Gate, you know where every encounter is going to be. That's just how they're not made very. And I understand that you're not saying it's horrible because of this, but it's just not how it's done. Red Dead 1 better than Red Dead 2. Like I said, I've never played the first one, so. But him coming out and basically telling the fans, because they're like, wait, $60 for a 13-year-old game, go fuck yourself. And like, nah, man, this is commercially viable is how we have to do it. $60. This game should be no more than $40. And $40 would be pushing it. This is a game that came out on the Xbox. I forget which Xbox it was, but it came out on the PS3.
Look, if the game's that old, that should be $20 if they're just porting it. That's fucking ridiculous.
$25 is reasonable, the reasonable max for me.
That's pushing it for me. I'd actually consider not buying it for that.
At 40, I'd be like, I really want to play it. It's kind of a ripoff, but I'm willing. At
I
60,
want no. There better be something new on there for $40. 60, no fucking way.
no fucking way. No, I want this game really bad, but I'm not spending $60 on it.
Maybe if they did the first Red Dead and Red Dead Revolver together,
Well,
that maybe because then it's $20 a piece. But no, this is ridiculous.
they did add the what was it? A DLC? I forget what it was exactly, but Undead Nightmare, where there's a little bit of the story going on, but it's mostly just you killing zombies, a whole bunch.
It's the zombie game that for like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But even then,
for fuck's sake, man, it's ridiculous. They are going to be releasing it for the PS4, so you'll be able to play it on the PS4 and the PS5. But if I remember correctly, that doesn't come till October, and as far as I know, it's just going to be a fucking port again.
like if it comes with the bonus DLC thing, there's your extra $5. Fine, 25. But no, beyond that, fuck you. No, this game is ancient. But by technological standards, this thing is incredibly outdated. It'd be like watching somebody play Tomb Raider on PS1. Oh, we're just porting that over to the new system. Well, yeah, but that's fine. But I'm not giving you $60 for that. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'll wait and see if I find it in like GameStop in the used games. It'll still probably be 40 there, but like I said, for me, 40 is reasonable. It's the it's the end of my reasonability. I have to find ways to justify that to myself.
Yeah.
Ain't no fucking way I'm paying 60 for it though. I just, these game companies, they're bad. They're horrible.
Yeah, evil, I think, is the word you're looking for.
The idea that you shouldn't expect a full rich game is what they think. And God bless Larian for this, because them coming out with this game has really exposed who these shitbags are. We might have thought it before, but now we know.
So what you're saying is Baldur's Gate has created a gate issue, a sort of gamer gate effect.
Something like that. Yeah. It's it'll be interesting to see if it makes any difference though. It really will. And I'm not sure it will though. Because we're still at their mercy.
That's true.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's $44.99 for the game. $44.99.
Nope, still a ripoff.
I had a bad source for that. That's my mistake. Thank you, Retro. That's still, like I said, it's over my budget that I would give to them. It would be 40 is my absolute max.
Nope.
See how I sell it.
Even if you have nostalgia for the game, that's way too fucking much.
That's how much I love Red Dead. Red Dead 2 was such a good game. And Red Dead. I've watched people play it. I've watched hours and hours. I've watched full playthroughs of the game. It's not as deep as Red Dead 2. But it's still deep enough. If they brought this to PC for 40, I would absolutely buy it. There'd be no question. But on my Switch for $45, nah, bro.
It's just too much money, man.
Go fuck yourselves.
I, as somebody that is devastatingly poor, I am not willing to commit anywhere near that amount of money for a fucking video game. No way.
I hear you. There's a game called ArcJack. When it was in early access, it was like $25, and it had been in early access for years and years and years and years. And they finally go, okay, we're releasing it as the finished game, buggy as fuck, and they bumped the price to $50.
No,
literally overnight, it doubled in price. And yeah, it was just as buggy as it was the day before. They didn't fix any. The game is still fucking buggy. And they're getting ready. They're building up to release the second one. Game companies, ladies and gentlemen, you shouldn't expect this. This is an anomaly. It shouldn't be, fucker. And forget about all the beautiful stuff, the cutscenes and shit. Yeah, not everybody can do that, but that's not what makes this game fun. It's not what made Baldur's Gate 1 fun. In Baldur's Gate 1, I hope you like reading, because almost everything is fucking reading in that game.
Hey, man, I remember Zork, so...
Oh, yeah.
Not opposed to reading necessarily.
But you just got to have a good game, and they're just unwilling to put out good finished products. And I understand the whole crunch of, hey, we're going to have it done by August 1st. And, July 20th comes along, you're like, there's no fucking way we're going to be done August 1st. Bump it back a week. You shouldn't be that far off. If you're getting that close to release and you have months work to do, you fucked up something horrible. You should never, your release date when you get that close should never be more than like a week out. And you know what? Most gamers would be like, that really sucks. Fuck you guys. But if it's going to make the game right, cool. The problem is, Jack, when that normally happens, they release the game and it's still a buggy fucking mess. You had how long to make it? It took us years and years and years. I get it. Programming's hard. There's a lot of work to it.
There's a lot of coke and hookers involved sometimes.
And oh my God, the crunch right before release. Well, give yourselves the actual time you need. You should be able to come up with a business plan. And okay, I get it. Bugs happen. There have been several games that have been pushed back 2 months here, 6 months there. And when it finally comes out, it's worth it. But to the game industry, apparently that's not what you're supposed to expect. You're supposed to be like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And we are. Because we're like, holy shit, it's a good game and it's fixed and there were no bugs. We shouldn't be like that. But what are our choices? When your major game industries is out there telling you, you probably need to go fuck yourself. I mean, I guess we just got to go fuck ourselves.
No, you go back and play old games.
I play a lot of old games, man. Play a shit ton of old games. You know what my go-to is when I'm just bored and okay, I just need something to keep myself occupied?
Oregon Trail?
No, although I have played that. Bloons.
Oh.
Bloons Tower Defense 6 is actually my go-to right now.
No, I've never played any of them.
Oh, man. The original Bloons, when it came out, our whole family was hooked on that goddamn game. And then when I got on Steam, one day for some reason, I'm like, I wonder if Bloons is on here. And yeah, 5 and 6 were on there. And they were on sale for like $4 each. So I got both. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And I don't need a AAA game, Jack. I just need something fun.
What is this fun you're having?
Can you imagine if you're watching a TV show, Jack, and they're like, oh, we're sorry this week sucked. Next week, we're going to inject some scenes that'll make it so much better.
No, I don't believe in video games. The only one I approve of is Depression Quest.
Evolve said, I played Binding of Isaac. My son loves Binding of Isaac. I've never played it.
Is that some weird bondage game?
No.
Oh.
It's a roguelike, which probably means nothing to you.
Nope.
I don't know all the backstory. I've seen bits and pieces of it. My son really, really loves it. I've never played it. No, Dangerous, not balloons. Bloons. 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 All right, we're gonna wrap up for real now. I just had to go on my little rant about that because these fucking game companies, like, you shouldn't expect, and mad at gamers for enjoying a game that's done and has a lot for them to do, and it's a role-playing game where your decisions actually matter.
Sounds like communism.
You can literally kill one of the people that's supposed to be in your party when you first meet him. It's worked into one of the storylines.
No. See, you have to just settle for half-assery because they're lazy and stupid, and that's just the way it is, Monkey. You have to get used to lowered standards.
I guess, but we shouldn't. And these game companies, you know what they should have been like? Man, we want to deliver that much for you, and we're trying as hard as we can. That's how you
No,
should
they're
have been.
not. They know everybody knows they're lying though if they say that.
But that would be the correct answer. And instead, they're like, you fucking entitled shitbags who give us your money.
Yeah, they're entitled to your money. That's just the way it is. How dare you have standards and expectations, you monster.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, take care of yourselves. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
I don't have a song for the third night in a row. I once banged your mom 'cause she's a fucking hoe.